All right, so this is the modelling
So is
phase of the debt recycling calculator.
Actually, is your client high risk or high growth, or what would they be?
Yeah, they have to be at least balanced to do this, and so, yeah.
Yep. So we leave them as high growth?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Now, as far as the investment itself, what do you think she'd be comfortable doing?
Okay, so they're looking at she was looking at investing in another property.
Right.
Okay, so that was leveraging.
So is they going to put the cash into that deal, or don't know?
Well, what she was wanting to do is to have pay it out almost to nothing,
right,
and leave like $1,000 in it. That's what she was saying.
For the new investment property.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then to have that, but I don't know.
Okay. Well, here's a suggestion you could make to her if that's her goal, or one of her goals. You could say, how about we do this? You go and pick an investment property you like that's within that budget of $650 cash or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Then we can purchase that outright, but simultaneously we go to the bank and sort of the day after the purchase is made, we set up a facility against that property, a line of credit,
yeah.
for example, for 80% as a limit, not what you're going to borrow, I stress, but we can borrow any amount up to that amount.
Yeah.
Then what we're going to do is not only create a new investment property in your portfolio, but simultaneously create a brand new share portfolio in blue chip shares. That way, instead of having an unbalanced portfolio, you've actually achieved immediately, a foot in both camps, if you like, of the best growth assets we can access for you.
Yep.
And that's the way I'd approach that sort of a plan, and try and encourage her to go down that road, because she's just going to think property. There's nothing else in the world. All I want is property, as they all do. But you've got to kind of awaken her to the fact that it's not the answer to everything. A blue chip portfolio has its own advantages, and this is where I've brought my folder with all my templates in. I was going to sort of show you what I do in part 3 to educate the client along those lines. So it will give you, and this is kind of, it'll need to be a few sessions, I guess, to get to where we need to be, but we'll go through that at a stage at a time. It's a pleasure. No, it's great. You guys are...
I'm excited.
It's important to me that people have success now, because I want the word to spread, of course, and you guys are early stages with this for me, so I'm just kind of building my little team, and we're all going to go and have fun with it together. So.
Yeah, well, we're going, we've been talking about, this is a major part of the business. This can be really the best part.
And
believe me, it's the big income generator in my business. It really is the thing that's doing it the most.
And it also suits our values and the way we see.
Well, it's the right way to plan.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It's the sort of most grassroots version of financial planning I've come across in the industry. It really is. It's got the power, I think.
Yeah.
So it's exciting. But anyway, so if we said, okay, if she did that, for example, and then we were going to redraw against that property value, it gets a bit complicated, because then we potentially might be saying we're purchasing a new property and then setting up a facility against that, but we don't know much about it. So I'm just going to assume it's against the home at this stage. So a lot of this, you're going to have to find out more from her, get a specific answer of which direction we take, and then I can help tidy it up.
Could we go with like a scenario where it's on the new property, because that's what she was talking about.
All right, well, let's do that.
And say the new property was a purchase price of $650.
Let's say she bought it for $650. Yep.
And Queensland, yep.
There's all costs and whatnot, but you may or may not factor those in. It might just all be in the price. It's up to you.
Yeah, let's just assume
keep it simple.
Yep.
Yeah. Would she use a property manager, do you think?
Yeah.
So probably 8% rental fee, usually that type of thing.
Yeah.
And client one is 100% in her name. Sounds like it'll be. Yeah, there we go. All right. Rental income per annum. Who knows?
Let's just say it's around 4%.
Yep.
Which is about right here on the Gold Coast, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd say.
Yeah, 26,000 a year.
Sure. 26k. Sorry, mate. That's all good. Now, costs for rates, insurance.
Oh yeah.
That type of thing.
let's say around
Usually around
5.
I'd say maybe a
$1,000.
bit higher than that for that price
Yeah,
property, maybe
it's
6.
better
Yeah, I'd go with. Yep, that's cool. That all looks pretty logical. New investment value. Well, if we set up an 80% facility against that 650, what's that going to give us?
$520.
Okay. If I was going to approach her about this, I'd be very careful because what age is she, by the way?
41.
41. Be very careful suggesting a massive share portfolio initially, because you tend to want to just get them in a little bit at a time to get them used to it, because it's a big concept to them. It's like, oh, well, that sounds dangerous and blah blah blah, but it's not really.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I'd probably suggest, I don't know, start with 200 even. So we're not kind of stressing her out, going, let's get $500,000. Lob it all in there. So anyway, and then you can dollar cost average quite quickly.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of spare equity obviously still remaining. But let's assume she's happy with that 200k. You will want to reinvest the dividends because it's not a case of you need those to pay off debt.
Yeah.
And again, it's 100% in her name. No margin lending. And that's about it for all that. Okay. Just having a look at the portfolio. So I've already got a high growth one selected. Yeah, that should be fine. I just need to put the investment value in this as well, 200,000. Okay, now the other question is for monthly topping up of the portfolio, if we were doing dollar cost averaging.
Yeah.
Potentially she could do a lot, but again, this is more a client question and what comfort zone they're in and that sort of thing. I don't know, you might do 2k a month, 5k a month.
Yeah, I was thinking, you know, just in this scenario, we could say 2k a month.
It's a good starting point. Alrighty, I'll just have to put that back in this tab as well.
What's this tab?
So this is the modelling data, it's the same one.
It doesn't go across?
No, there's a reason I've got two separate ones. I'll show you why in a sec. Let me just see. I've just got to find the right box to throw that in here. Regular gearing, there we go. So we can see here it's brought across the 50% rule is basically looking at their rate of debt reduction or their rate of savings capacity, which if you remember back to when we looked at that number, was about 7,000 a month of potentially saving. So I use 50% of that as the reinvestment amount. So we're actually getting some genuine accumulated savings or dedicated debt reduction if they've got debt, but at the same time they're reinvesting part of the proceeds.
Yeah.
So that particular...
So in this case, your suggested amount to gear per month is 4k. Approximately. But let's just use, we can use 2 though, it doesn't matter. If it's lower, it's fine, it's even more conservative. You just don't want to go too much higher, because then it starts to stress the buffers on the plan a bit. And you don't get as much debt reduction going on. Okay. Yeah, it's still counting that cash in there. The reason is we need to spend it. I assume there's a property being bought, so that cash has automatically been contributed to the investment there. Okay. I'm just going to take that out of there. Now,
and we put it in the investment property, or?
I'm just thinking we might set this up as assuming that property's already bought. I'll look at where the modelling's going to work the best. Anyway, that cash has been removed from there. Investment value, loan balance. It's still picking up a massive figure there. I'm not sure why.
Because of the home, the
Yeah.
value.
I think the easiest...
She does have a lot of, she's got bonds, she's got super.
I'm just going to throw the investment property in there and then do the modelling slightly differently instead, because the new home purchase, normally it's trying to model it on the non-deductible debt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that would be better off in a different area, but that's okay, we'll come to that. Okay. So it's actually totaled up the total of those two properties to be used as security now. So, I mean, you don't need that much, obviously, but you can just pick anywhere within that. So we said 80% was going to be what?
520.
520, that's right. So I'll just stick in 520.
But it's not.
You
she
would
has
want security on both of them.
But I just want to clarify that that's 520 is not that she's borrowing 520, but it's a line
A limit.
Credit.
That's a limit.
It's still borrowed money, but it's a line of
So
credit.
what it is total loan to be applied for 520.
Yeah.
So it's not that we're going to use it all, no. That's right. So it's actually telling you for a non-tax deductible loan limit, it's recommending 10,000, but that's only because that's my standard buffer that I add on. But because she doesn't really need it, she's got a cash buffer, I'll just put a 0. She doesn't really need that account
But
at
most
all.
people need a buffer.
Yeah, that's right. She'll keep it in cash, so that will be, there'll be plenty of cash left over, I'd say, in her case.
Yeah.
All right, this should model properly now. Let me just see. Yeah, that's more like it. Now it's taking the fee out of this account. That's why that balance is a bit higher. So it's the investment money of 200k plus your fee.
Yeah.
So that starts in slight negative, obviously, in the initial stage, but as the investment grows, it pretty quickly overcomes that. Yeah, so the modelling actually works off that scenario.
But that fee is 9,000 a year, where it wouldn't be after the first year.
No, that's right. It'll only put it in that year, but it'll only
but
put
if you looked at the ongoing as it accrued, it still had the 209. Why is that not the ongoing?
Here,
Yeah.
because it's an interest-only loan,
Yeah.
that fee just got charged once at the beginning, but then the client continues just to pay interest on that account.
Oh, I see.
So it's just a fixed balance, that's all.
Fixed balance, yeah.
So it's the loan account, whereas the investment actual value is over here. So that's growing and growing and growing.
So this is the value of the share portfolio that we start with 200.
Or the
Yeah, here, new investment value.
Yeah.
200k, and then as it grows, and obviously the top-ups as well affect that number.
So how did it go to double that and just... Oh, no, this is year 6.
That's correct.
Okay, right.
Yeah, so it's not every year, it's 5-year increments.
Right.
Yeah, so I'll do 5-year snapshots along the way. The SOA actually has 5 years broken down one at a time in these columns, so you can actually see if you want all 5 years. They are in the SOA. But
so that gives you the share, and then it gives you the property values increasing.
Yep.
So
what we have to do, I was just going to come back to that one. What we have to do now to note that she's bought that property is throw it into the investment summary here.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because we're assuming she now owns this as well as an existing investment.
Yep.
Yep. So anything that's going to remain in the program, which she'll be keeping it, of course, needs to go there. So if we say investment property, again, we'll just put what we know about it, or can guess about it.
4%.
Let's say 4, growth 3, maybe.
Yeah.
Contribution 0. It's not really one of those type of things. She'll own it. Okay, and we've got
direct property.
Yes, direct properties in there down the bottom. So there's that. What that does is it just puts it in this table correctly. So there's, I didn't show you these earlier, but there's tables across here that are actually calculating the asset allocations based on what she's already owns, and then it calculates the dollar values of those as well. That's all we need there. So now, as we get to the strategy report, actually I've got to make this a little bit bigger because, oops, what did I do? Out of the tab. Didn't mean to do that. Get rid of that. useful.